I think just as Helen Zille is a big name in the DA, in the ANC in Johannesburg, the Trade and Industry Minister Parks Tau is someone who's fondly remembered as the Mayor of Johannesburg.
Why would Helen Zille, white, old, and representing a tiny fraction of our population, want to be Mayor of Johannesburg, Africa's most diverse city? Where are the young black leaders in the DA? Are we being played by recycled politics? The leadership crisis. Let's be clear here. South Africa is not short of credible leaders. We have brilliant, ethical young minds ready to lead, but they are being locked out. Why? Because our political system recycles power instead of renewing it. Old leaders protect their power, not the people. Why Zille? So why would Helen Zille want to be Mayor of Johannesburg? Here's the truth. To retain control in unstable coalitions. To maintain DA dominance over key political outcomes. Because real power in the DA still sits with white elites, not the rising black talent they parade around the election season. Here are some capable DA leaders. Solim Simang, Pelisa Nkomo, Kume Ramolifo. They have the talent, but not the trust of the system they serve.
Hello everybody, my name is Sivyo Kwahobe and I am a graduate of the DA Young Leaders Program. Many years ago, back in 2011, I was a class of the DA Young Leaders Program. And come to think of it now, that program really started me thinking about what kind of leader I wanted to be. And it really started sparking this idea in me that I wanted to really serve, and started helping me think about how do I want to serve in South Africa and what kind of leader I want to be. But also, it helped me make lifelong contacts with people around the country, incredible young people doing amazing things. We got equipped with amazing skills, political writing, op-ed, speech writing. We were allocated a coach, we were allocated a mentor. These are some things that you don't find easily in any political program. And so
the move by the Helen Zille herself, and perhaps even the DA and its sponsors, to sort of fly the kite and say they would want to field Helen Zille, to a certain degree, it's a nice way of also kicking off the campaign for next year and creating a lot of buzz around the DA. In and of itself, from a DA perspective, I think it's a very good move from their perspective. You must remember that small parties like the DA have got a very good chance of getting this, that, on the other. They flighted the Moonshot Pact before, and look where they ended up, and regardless of who they dished along the way. But at least they've got something in hand. So they are trying their move again, but you know that they've had a hard time in Gauteng. They've been kicked out of Tshwane. They've whether you say they left the city of Joburg, but they were kicked out of the city of Joburg, kicked out of Ekurhuleni. They've had a very hard time in Gauteng.
The damage. This recycling of leadership is dangerous. It blocks transformation, alienates black voters, and sends a clear message. We don't trust you to lead. Zille returning to power is not leadership. It's fear disguised as experience. The solution. We need parties that step aside for the next generation, not cling to the past. We need civic platforms like Inkari is Time that expose this recycling game and support real leadership. And most importantly, we need you, the people, to stop voting for optics and start demanding substance.
Since the DA says that where they govern well, there is success. And where they've governed is the Western Cape and the city of Cape Town. And that's where Helen Zille gets her heavyweight credentials from. Let me then say that since the DA took over the Western Cape, the GDP growth rate has actually not been adequate. It has certainly not been adequate. And in actual fact, the Western Cape has had the highest growth rate of unemployment. The rate at which they've increased unemployment, if you take the period of democracy as a whole, 30 years of democracy, they've increased unemployment more than any other province. That is from the Bureau of Economic Research at Stellenbosch and Stats SA. So at the same time, if the DA if Western Cape under the DA had been doing well, better than other provinces, their share of GDP would have grown. But in 2013, it was 14.1. By 2023, give or take, it was at 14%. So it's muted. There's nothing that really distinguishes them on the things that matter. And the things that matter to me is the GDP growth rate, the unemployment rate, the welfare of the people, whether people are well-fed and wealthy. And that has not happened in the Western Cape. And I don't even want to get into the racial issues of that matter at all. Mm-hmm. Coming then to the issue of personalities. The DA had a good chance to keep Paladze. There was a Mpho Paladze whom I thought was a very good candidate. They didn't do that. They could have kept the seat and kept Paladze in office. They didn't do that. They connived with the African National Congress to kick Mashaba out, and Mashaba was doing a good job in the city of Johannesburg. And after that, it has been perpetual chaos. So the authors of the chaos in the city of Johannesburg in recent times, since 2016 to be specific, is the combination of the ANC and the DA. Those are the people who put us in this mess that we're in now. So for Helen Zille to come as an innocent sort of person, a great achiever, to me is a very dubious position. When you compare the ANC and the DA, you know, Mfundo, it would be like you and me writing a test. You get 15% and I get 10%, and you run from pub to pub telling everybody that I beat Sandy the lights out in the test, forgetting to tell people that the pass mark is 50%. That were both dismal failures. So in economic terms, the ANC and the DA are dismal failures. Yes, the DA can keep a town clean, maybe eliminate potholes, etc., etc., but in terms of taking a city forward or taking a nation forward, they do not have that credential.
Helen Zille, for mayor of Johannesburg. No, that's not leadership. That's recycling old politics. It's time to build a new system with new voices. If you love Johannesburg, say no to recycled leadership. Share your thoughts in the comment below. What do you think about Helen Zille's refusal to retire? Thank you for watching and take care.